I know Chewy's had them, and Renegade Truck Accessories is my go-to. That's what I tell them. That's where I've taken my trucks to get work done.
They're actually bringing us the live broadcast we're doing right now. You want to do a little?
Perfect.
You want to do a little read for Renegade here?
Lear and Ranch fiberglass truck caps, Lumar window films. They are tinting now. Lift kits, tires, wheels, bed covers, tonneau covers. All the major brands. Jim has got many, many years in the business. He's got a great crew there. It's a small shop, so you're not going to get lost with that big shop mentality. Listen, there's so much stuff out there for your Jeep and your truck now to customize it, to enable it, to make it look good, that you really need someone like Jim to go through it and show you what's available. You may not be able to see it all, but he's seen it all, and he's done it all, and he can get that stuff in quick, bolted on right, lifts, flares, winches, custom lighting. He does programming, exhaust, I mentioned tinting, and things to carry stuff and cover stuff. Let's just say that. 12621 Research. It's renegadetruck.net. You can see what they're working on this week. Just search them on Instagram and Facebook, renegadetruck.net.
There we go.
All right.
Welcome back to the show, and we haven't seen you in forever. It's Barb Morgan. How are you, Barb?
I'm great. How are you?
We can move that closer. You can pull that all around that microphone. You get to be the boss of it.
Okay. I think I bossed it.
By the way, Barb, news of our demise here on the show have been greatly exaggerated.
Oh.
Just to let you know.
Well, I'm seeing both of you, so
good to see you, and I'm glad you made it through the pandemic.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did somehow.
We did.
I feel like we should congratulate each other at this point that we've made it through.
Yeah, I have to say I was pretty happy to be through that thing, and last year was a kind of a weird live event, but you got to get back in the game, right?
Right.
Yeah. How do you? We're going to let people know. Austin Film Festival. My first one that I went to was 25 years ago. I was just thinking about it in the hallway. It was 1997 was the first year I went to the Austin Film
Started
Festival.
it all.
Just a baby.
Yeah. How long has the festival been running in Austin now?
This will be 29.
Wow.
29.
Jeez. Wow. And when something comes like you spend it's not. So the festival runs for 10-ish days, we'll call it.
9.
9, okay. And but people don't realize that you have an office and you're cranking away and working for an entire year.
Yep.
And when you're doing that and then something comes along like, I don't know, a world shutting down pandemic or whatever, and people aren't going out, and then some people are going and then some people aren't, and you don't know, what the hell do you do?
That was every day was a new game plan. That was kind of it. You get exhausted. I figure it's good for our brain not getting some other alternative terrible thing when we're older just because we had to come up with a new idea every day.
Just keeping your brain busy. Like when you have one of those puzzle bowls for your dog, you think to keep their kibble or whatever, to keep their brain active.
Yep. But it was kind of NFL football, you were looking at a new play every time. That didn't work, and we did the whole thing. Crazy in 2020, we really did the whole thing, even down to the networking events online, and it worked well, and I hope never to do it again.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, the Austin Film Festival, and I'm assuming it's still focusing on writing and the writers, right? Which is, I think, a brilliant move because I think we all agree that all of us that love film, it starts on the page, right?
Totally. I mean, that's how we think.
Right, because you see a bad movie and what happened here? Well, the script was bad. That's where it started and went south from there. So you guys have always focused on the writing.
Totally. And we have so many great movies this year.
I'm really excited, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff pop up in the press. Not your press release. I mean, I've seen it there as well. But other press picking up on a lot. You want to talk to so somebody that may not understand, because I think some people think, a film festival is for filmmakers. Mm-hmm. That's not what's happening here. The public is invited. You can go and you can go see all these movies.
Totally, yeah. And not only that, but we want them because, like Bob pointed out, excuse me, guys. The writers are the most interesting people, in my opinion, because they can tell you where the story came from. They can tell you how they made those choices. They're making the roadmap to the great movie, right? And so when they're giving you that history and what their influences were, it's so interesting. And our Q&As are amazing. They're just amazing. So
they really are. And conversations over drinks with folks can be kind of amazing. And I feel like writers, for some reason, I guess because there's not as much, like if you're an actor, everyone's approaching you and wanting something. there is a little bit of an anonymity that sometimes comes with being a writer. And sometimes you think, well, I came up with a damn idea. I made this whole thing. Why don't I get a little attention too? So sometimes, like that very first festival I went to, I was just standing in a corner, and Buck Henry came up to me. Yeah. He's a co-writer of like The Graduate, like one of the most famous movies of all time. And he just started chatting with me, and it was very uncomfortable at first because I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm a fan. It's a little intimidating. But then it just ended up being a really nice, fun conversation. It started about beer in general, but it was just really interesting. And that was kind of what really opened my mind up to the idea of these like festivals or whatever. The writers seem to be interesting, funny, engaging, and then sometimes out of their mind weird, which is also fun.
Yeah, sometimes they could just be a housewife. Yeah. Right? Or so like... you know what I mean? They come from all walks of life.
Oh, yeah. But Buck was a great example. He was really awesome. And he was just like, that's the thing, right? All those writers, they're just normal people. And they're not really known for the most part. And so they're at the festival talking. And like gas fuels those Renegade trucks, alcohol fuels screenwriters.
Well, it fuels a lot of us.
Yeah. Yes.
But I do think that that's one of the fun things is that you can get fueled up. Now, there is programming all over the city. And when I would say programming, I mean places where you can go see films. Yeah. And so when we say it focuses on the writer, it focuses on great writing, but it's not necessarily for someone who's doesn't understand. You're not going somewhere and just watching people read scripts, though you have in the past done things with screenwriters, and you've had basically what you would call a table read, where people get to go on and see a script for a movie that hasn't been made yet, and they're going through the script. And then what's fascinating is a lot of times these scripts do go on to be made, and you kind of seen the movie before it really happened before, which is a really cool thing.
A lot of them have gone on to be made. The Nice Guys, Long Shot, we've had a lot. One that used to be called Some Words We Can't Say Here, but became the To-Do List, with all huge people like Bill Hader coming in and Will Ferrell. And so we've done a bunch of those, and we're doing one that's a TV script for a pilot that hasn't been made yet. And we're pretty excited about that one. And then, like you're saying, we're all over town. I mean, we're concentrated downtown, but we're out at the Galaxy and the Long Center and, some other places where we try to make it real easy for people to get out and see the movies.
So let's kind of pimp some people into some of these movies. What are some of the big events, big screenings, big premiere screenings that you guys are featuring during the festival?
So you're inviting me to be shameless now, right?
This is the part of the shameless.
Okay,
well, but see, when I
some name dropping,
I gotta see the whale.
Come on.
When I throw it out like that, then you can feel all humble and be like, oh, you know what? I will go ahead and mention these things.
Oh, I'm gonna go all humble on. We've got the whale for opening night.
Let's explain to people what the whale is. If somehow they have missed the whale.
I don't know how, because it's so buzzed. If you watch movies at all.
Well,
totally.
if you have Entertainment Weekly,
Right.
if you ever look at E! Entertainment News, the whale has been anything anyone has talked about since the Cannes Film Festival happened, because it kind of reintroduced us to an actor, and people are saying it's fantastic.
So I've seen it. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. The description of it doesn't do it justice. So it was, directed by Darren Aronofsky and written by Samuel Hunter. It was a play. And Brendan Fraser is like, where was he? I actually had to look that up. I was like, where'd that guy go? I loved him in The Mummy.
Right. I loved him in Tarzan.
Yeah, he was great in Tarzan, too. Wasn't he George of the Jungle, too?
Or something like that, or something. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, George of the Jungle.
So it was George, yeah. So it's just an incredible story. It's really uplifting. It doesn't sound like it necessarily from what you see written about it, but it's pretty incredible. And if he doesn't win an Academy Award, they should shut that thing down.
Really?
It's
that good.
Yeah.
We should say, so Brendan Fraser did kind of disappear from Hollywood, like literally disappeared from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing anything, wasn't doing commercials, and you can read the background on about what a lot of that was about. But what's sort of amazing is he kind of appears out of nowhere. He's in this movie. People see it. They're so floored by his performance that he gets this forever standing ovation at the end of the screening.
Yeah.
People are standing
like 15
and they're
minutes
clapping
or something,
and
right?
they're standing
Yeah.
and they're clapping. And there's that point where you think, okay, people are going to calm down and sit down, and they don't. They continue standing and clapping. And I've seen interviews with him now, and it's ridiculous how kind of humble he's been about this, but how exciting he's been excited about. He's just like, it's a really good story. It's a great movie. I'm really lucky to be a part of it. I'm excited to be a part of it. And he just seems like a really nice guy, and it makes you feel really good about the whole thing.
Well, isn't that why we liked him to begin with, though? Because
Yeah.
he was always one of those guys, like he was one of those $20 million men, but he was always humble. He was cool.
And I'm excited about that. And when a film is out like that, how do you have to go through people? Like, how do you land a film like that at your film festival?
Well, I mean, we do work with a lot of distributors that, and we're in a good time, right? Because the festival falls right before the Academy Awards and the, some of the I don't know, are we allowed to say Golden Globes anymore? I can't remember if they're still canceled. But anyway.
You can say whatever you want to here.
And then we fall into that window. So we're really kind of lucky, right, that these are all movies. Like, we've got a couple other great ones like that. Armageddon Time, which is James Gray's new movie. If you don't know James Gray, you need to know James Gray. He'll be here. He's one of my favorite writers of all time. Really great movies. Little Odessa, Two Lovers. He's written some really great stuff. And so that he's our Saturday night fare. We got a great horror movie that won Sundance called Nanny, and then just just fell in love with film, which is written and directed by a guy from San Antonio, Darren Lagallo, who happens to be married to Amy Adams. Is a film called Sam and Kate, and some of the production team are Texans too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's our Shameless night Friday. Dustin Hoffman, Sissy Spacek will be there. Their kids are in the movie, Skylar Fisk and Hoffman's son, and it's going to be really exciting.
That's awesome. And we'll get into the Shameless part. I mean, it's awesome to watch these movies. It's great to have the writers and what have you, but celebrity and star still does work in this country, and it brings a lot of people out.
Yeah.
And I think it's exciting when people can get a ticket and then they can go down and watch one of these movies, and then they can go, oh my God, I think that's Dustin Hoffman over there.
Yeah.
But they don't have to think. They can know, yep, that's Dustin Hoffman over there. Just
Don't
watching
call him sir.
Yeah, don't call him sir. He's just watching a movie. Something I'm really excited about, and you do have, I've gone, and one of my favorites has been, like, I love seeing the shorts. I always enjoy that because you get first of all, I have a terrible attention span, and I love to be able to watch like 5 or 6 movies all in like a 1 hour sitting. That's really fun for me, and I still remember some of the shorts I've seen over the years. I also am excited because you sometimes have documentaries, and documentaries I really love. I'm kind of excited about something, and I think Chewy will really love this because Chewy loves boxing. Okay.
Oh my God, we're going to talk about
Thug Rose.
Thug Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a world premiere. It's directed by Marius Markovicius. I don't know if I've said that right. And this is something that's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. We'll see it later. But the world premiere is there. Yep. And can you tell us some of the background of Thug Rose?
Yeah, so Rose is going to be here, and pretty excited about that. And I'm a UFC fan. I know that doesn't fit the film.
Okay, wait.
Well, you learn something new every day.
This I'm loving. You program film festivals.
Yeah, well, I have
for hoity-toity
writers. I used
writers.
to do Taekwondo as so.
I didn't know this about you, Barb.
So it was it's a person. This is like rarely does a film festival get a movie in like this, but it's a great doc. It's so great. And UFC, I guess, is starting to get into the programming game, and this is their first doc, and it's beautiful. I fell in love with this woman. I mean, it was like, man, she is not what you expect. She's
a strawweight fighter.
Yeah,
she's tiny,
and she's also not really a thug. She's just really good at what she does.
Really, really.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing, and so we're excited to be showing that one. That's Sunday of the festival, so that's the 30th, and she's going to be coming in and doing her Q&A, and hopefully, not getting into it. So.
Do you know if Daniel Craig is coming for Glass Onion?
Daniel Craig is not coming, but Glass Onion is coming.
I think we should hang out together.
Bob really wants to hang out with Daniel Craig.
I think we would have so much in common.
Bob, if he shows up, you're the first person.
All right.
So,
Kate Hudson would be cool,
you're
too.
You're going to have to beat off all the women, dude. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you could get Thug Rose to help you.
I want to see that movie. I like the first one.
Closing night. That's a very big, exciting get for us to get that movie.
I want to pivot a little bit. We've now got your shameless plugs out. Now I want to ask you about this because you have had a festival here for nearly 30 years. Okay. Bob's been on the air for nearly 30 years.
I thought you were. I think maybe were we concurrent?
I think Bob may have gone to one
I
of the
just
very
remember the
first
first time
festivals.
first time I came here to
100%.
promote was
I've
in
done
like
some stuff.
'94.
I think I've moderated some panels.
I
and
think
done
you were
some
here.
stuff.
Yeah, totally did.
Oh,
yeah.
no, I was.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, how as obviously you've noticed a changing Austin and a changing Austin scene. Yeah. Is this news to you? How has it benefited or detracted from what you do?
That's a good question. I ask myself that frequently.
Yeah, well, and it's one of the things that we reflect on a whole lot because when we kind of restarted the show, we were chatting about, okay, there were a lot of people here that have been here really in the last 5 years. And how do you educate those folks in kind of a fun way? Because I know that if I moved to a new town and the air was leave, don't be here, it's not very welcoming and not very kind. And you came for a reason and you would like to be a part of the party, but no one's helping you become a part of the party because they seem to be rude. Then I also understand there's a thing when you had a party and all of a sudden the address of your party got out on the internet and everybody's showing up and you're like, but this isn't the party we started. And that's a weird conflict. But, finding your way through that is sort of the interesting path. I'll shut up now and let you answer the question.
No, I mean, I think it's a good question because, I mean, theoretically, this is my posed theory, is that until about 10 years ago, nobody in their right mind moved here to make money, right?
Right.
And then 10 years ago, everybody started moving here to make money. Right. So that's a cultural shift that it's really difficult for the arts to reckon with, right? Because the arts are made up of people who don't care about money.
Correct.
That's not your primary concern. And so it's really hard educating the new people on why, because they didn't move here for the Continental Club and the film festival and the arts scene. They just moved here independent of all those things. And if you got indoctrinated into that world when you first came here, as an art lover, you were passionate about everything that was here. So it's my theory is really, how do we get these people to be involved and understand what was here that made them want to come even for the money? Because that infrastructure was changing. And the other piece is, I don't know, because when we can shut down in 2019, it was kind of still the town, sort of. We could see it. When we woke up in 2021,
we had an electric car factory.
Yeah, all these people, were like, "Who the hell? When did they get here? What? Huh?"
And 66-story buildings, and and a 77-story building on the way, and
it was Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
It was just like, what
happened,
what?
And why didn't? Yeah, well,
and nobody told me, huh? So I think I don't have anything against the people that move here. I'd love them to be more involved and care about the community they moved into, as opposed to just wanting to change that community. And it is changing. No matter what, it's going to change. Like, we'd be dumb, you're not allowed to say with the word, but whatever, if we thought it wasn't going to change,
Right. Well, as an industry insider, and you are, where is the movie theater experience going, do you think? Because I've struggled with it during the pandemic, certainly when they almost shut down. But now that they've reopened, it's like if you're not MCU, Marvel, you may not get a slot at a movie theater. It may not even be beneficial for you to be in a movie theater. Now movie theaters are for the big, and I'm talking big blockbusters, the Top Guns, the Marvel. And there was some concern at the end of the summer even that people were going to stop going to theaters altogether after the summer, and they were doing $3 movie nights and trying to entice people in. What's going on, do you think?
Well, so that I think is totally explainable. So I'm going to fall on the side of absolutely completely biased human being. Right?
Sure. That's okay. You're allowed.
Love movie theaters. If they go away, it will be one of the saddest days ever. That's why festivals exist, though. That is to show you those movies that are never going to make it because of the Marvel universe. But I love some Marvel movies.
Sure, we all do.
Yeah. And Top Gun was one of the greatest. Maverick was one of the greatest things that happened in the last couple of years, right? Because I was standing in my seat. I mean, I love.
He got a standing ovation too, I believe it.
Yeah. Well, and they deserved it. That was a great movie. It was a great piece of work. So,
and he showed great reserve.
Yes.
Holding it back.
Right.
How many years? 4 years?
And I think they were working on it all that time. But a great crew that worked on that film, right, to show you what a collaborative thing is supposed to be. But I do think part of it is that there just wasn't content. The theory is the content wasn't there because they shut down production for a year and a half, right? So now that's going to start feeding into the system. Yes, people have moved to their couch and the TV, but do you want your big ass? Sorry, your butt.
I can say
That's
all right.
I don't want to be sitting in that couch all the time. I want to be watching a movie with people. You know what was the greatest thing about Maverick? All the audience reaction. There were other people standing in their seat in the movie with me,
and
It was
screaming and shouting.
Hey,
yeah.
this is why we're here. So it's a collective experience. So I don't think it's going away, Bob. I really don't.
Okay, I hope not either. But
Glass Onion's going to bring them out. They're doing they're going to the movie. They're going to go to the movie theater. So that's it. And just if you love it, keep going. So the movie theaters here weren't completely shut down. The iPic over here was open. I went the entire pandemic. I went even to go see the original Ghostbusters and movies like that because I love going to the movie theater. My kid and I were out there, braving COVID to go to the movie theater.
Because you love that part, and I love that I love that you had that festival, and I love that you even touched on the point that it's a great place to see some movies that you're not going to get to see sometimes elsewhere.
Yeah,
and I mean, I remember seeing a documentary called Hands on a Hard Body at Austin Film Festival, and it changed my mind about what a documentary could be. I saw a story when I was 25 and kind of lonely and lovelorn and trying to figure out who I was, and there was a movie called Olympia that I saw at your festival, and it was about a guy who was a little lovelorn and lonely and trying to figure. And
just
so,
like you.
And I knew that movie necessarily, that story touched me. I know it wasn't going to touch a million people out there, but it was a really good story and a fun movie to look at. And I like that there's a place for that for people, because storytelling, ultimately, what humans do is storytelling. It's what we do here for 4 hours every morning.
Hands on a Hard Body, man. Great example. That was a movie that was so unexpected. It hit you upside the head. And little known fact, Matthew McConaughey produced that. So
did know that, actually. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for being here, Barb. We really appreciate it. You can get lots of information at Austin Film Festival. We didn't even give starting date is
October 27th through November 3rd.
Okay, so not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Next Thursday,
right?
You betcha.
And then, well, good luck. I'm glad that you took time to come here, because you will not be sleeping for the next week.
No.
Or the week
thanks
of.
for giving. It wasn't even last night, but thanks.
Thank you very much. We're coming right back. We still have giveaways. If you are interested in going to see and going to taste barbecue in Lockhart, the Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest, we got giveaways. You just got to make sure that you continue listening.
Mornings with Matt and Bob in studio is brought to you by Empanadas, available in the frozen food aisle of your favorite grocery store, and Renegade Truck Accessories, your source for truck caps, bed covers, lift kits, window tinting, and custom services. Mornings with Matt and Bob in studio is brought to you by Empanadas, available in the frozen food aisle of your favorite grocery store.